The Supreme Court now rejecting Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's plea for an extension to his interim bail. Now, Kejriwal had sought a 7-day extension to his interim bail on health grounds. However, the Supreme Court registry refused to accept Kejriwal's application, saying that since he was already allowed to move trial court in order to ask for a regular bail, his application for an extension to the interim bail was not maintainable. On Tuesday, the Supreme Court questioned Kejriwal's advocate, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, as to why the Delhi Chief Minister's plea for an extension was not mentioned when Justice Dipankar Datta was hearing the case last week. Now, Arvind Kejriwal was given an interim bail on May 10th for a 21-day period in the Delhi liquor policy case. He was asked to surrender before the jail authorities on June 2nd. And with his plea for an extension to the bail rejected, Kejriwal will now have to go back to the Tihar Jail on June 2nd, according to the conditions that were applicable when the interim bail was issued to him. This is the entire matter. Remember earlier, currently in fact, Arvind Kejriwal is being investigated in the Liquorgate scam, and he was in Tihar Jail after he had been taken into custody over the same matter as the probe continues. But he had sought for an interim bail, he had sought for a bail for the election campaigning, and the Supreme Court had cited this to be an extraordinary circumstance under which they did give him interim bail, only giving him permission to continue with the election campaigning. Because remember, we are bang in the middle. In fact, now we are no longer in the middle, but we are towards the end of the Lok Sabha polls of 2024. But when the interim bail was issued, two major states were still yet to vote, which was A, the national capital, Delhi, and both strongholds for the Aam Aadmi Party, and the second being Punjab. In which case, the Aam Aadmi Party's chief, Arvind Kejriwal, was allowed to continue with his election campaigning. That is exactly why he was issued interim bail. Now, it is only recently that Arvind Kejriwal, remember Arvind Kejriwal during his campaign time and again has said that I know I will be going back to jail on June 2nd, but if you do want to see me out, then do vote for Aam Aadmi Party. That was his entire sloganeering that he had taken up during the election campaigns. But, however, let's also take a look at what had happened post that. He had applied for a 7-day extension to the interim bail, and he had cited medical grounds for it. Because remember earlier, while he was in prison as well, Arvind Kejriwal is a diabetic, and he has a diabetes issue for which he didn't keep well. He had been put under medical care as well while he was in prison, while he was in custody. He had issues with his blood pressure as well. His blood pressure had dropped, and for these similar reasons he has asked for an extension, or rather he had asked for a 7-day extension. However, the Supreme Court has rejected this extension plea on his interim bail, and Kejriwal will have to surrender on June 2nd as the ED and the court continues his trial with regards to the Liquorgate scam. This is the particular entire news that we are taking a look at currently. Well, Arvind Kejriwal expected to go back to Tihar Jail on June 2nd. Remember, the Liquorgate scam is one that he's being investigated in, and he's not the only person who's being investigated in this particular case. Other Aam Aadmi Party stalwarts, including Satyendra Jain, Manish Sisodia, continue to be behind the bars. Sanjay Singh, the MP, had been in prison, but then he was also granted bail into the particular situation, into the particular case. But before that, considering all four of them had been a part of this entire investigation, they were all put behind bars, they were all being probed into the matter. Remember, Manish Sisodia's bail plea was also tried in the court recently, and currently Arvind Kejriwal is out on interim bail, but he is to return to Tihar Jail on June 2nd. Liquorgate scam is one that had come to the light earlier, and then Arvind Kejriwal had been sent multiple summons by the ED, which he had ignored, saying that it was politically motivated. And it was finally in the month of March that the ED had taken him into custody over this entire issue. Remember, in the court, one of the bigger questions still remains to be the money trail that's involved. Because remember, in association with the same case, K. Kavita from the south, from the BRS, has also been put under custody. She currently is also facing trial and facing charges in this entire matter. But while these were the main, some of the main political stalwarts who have been put behind bars, Arvind Kejriwal currently is out on interim bail, and he had asked for an extension for 7 more days after June 2nd, which is the breaking news, the Supreme Court has cancelled and has rejected, and has said that the extension plea shall not be maintainable.